Today, we're going to talk about one of the most incredible industrial turnarounds of our time. Seriously, we're looking at how China's car industry went from being the world's punchline to an absolute powerhouse. It's a wild story, so let's get right into it.
So, picture this. It's 2007 at the Frankfurt Motor Show. A Chinese company shows up with cars that are, well, pretty shameless copies of a BMW and a Mercedes. The German automakers were so mad, they didn't just sue, they demanded the cars be physically removed from the country. Now, fast forward to today. Those same German car giants, they're actually struggling to keep up with Chinese brands that are flooding the market.
So the big question is, how in the world did this happen? How is an entire industry, known for cheap knockoffs, totally flip the script and start to define the future of driving? Well, the answer involves a very strange bet, a massive government plan, and some very, very hard lessons.
The first big turn in the story happens right when the industry's reputation was at rock bottom. We're talking 2008. The same year, a German court literally ordered those copycat cars to be destroyed. And that's when legendary investor Warren Buffett makes a move that has everyone just scratching their heads.
He decided to pour money into a Chinese company called BYD. Now, you've got to understand, at the time, BYD was basically just a battery maker. But Buffett saw something else. He wasn't just betting on the tech. He was betting on the founder, a guy named Wang Chunfu. And this is where the story gets absolutely wild. Before he invested, Buffett sent one of his top guys to China to check things out. During the visit, Wang Chunfu wanted to prove just how safe and non-toxic his battery fluid was. So what does he do? He pours a glass of it and drinks it right in front of him. The executive was, as you can imagine, completely stunned. But he flew back and told Buffett that this guy's confidence was the real deal. So Buffett invested $230 million, a bet that would end up growing by more than 20 times.
Okay, but a single billionaire's bet, even a good one, doesn't transform an entire industry. The real engine behind all of this wasn't one company. It was a massive, top-down strategic mission from the Chinese government itself.
So why did the government care so much? Just look at this number, 11 million. That is the number of barrels of foreign oil China had to import on average every single day this year. Think about that. If you're known as the world's factory, being that dependent on other countries for energy is a huge, huge vulnerability. And that is exactly why the government went all in on electric vehicles. This wasn't just about being green, it was a matter of national security. They pumped billions into the EV industry, gave huge subsidies to people who bought electric cars, and basically declared that the country's future would run on batteries, not gasoline. But you know, having a grand plan is one thing. Actually being able to build world-class cars is something else entirely. So, to catch up with the West, Chinese automakers had to get a serious education, and fast. And they learned from two places: their partners and their own epic failures. This whole learning process took decades. Back in the 90s, if a foreign car company wanted to sell in China, the rule was you had to partner with a local company. This basically turned into a decade-long masterclass for Chinese engineers. But they also learned from failing, big time. Remember that 2007 car show? Another Chinese car, the Brilliance BS6, failed European safety tests so badly that its frame just crumpled. Newspapers said it was like it was made from soda cans. It was a total humiliation, but man, what a powerful lesson in what not to do. So, with the government's full backing and all this knowledge from years of trial and error, China started to build an unstoppable production machine, leveraging three core advantages that pretty much no one else in the world could compete with. First up, and this is a big one, labor costs. I mean, this chart really says it all. The average auto worker in the United States makes about $42 an hour. In China, it's around $6. That massive difference goes straight to the bottom line, making the final car way, way cheaper. But it's not just about cheaper labor. China also poured money into advanced robotic factories, which cut labor costs even more and sped up production by up to 50%. Then you've got their logistics network, which is just unmatched. Their ports are so efficient, they handle an incredible 40% of all global container traffic. You put all that together, and you get a supply chain that can move parts and cars around the globe faster and cheaper than anybody. So you have the investment, the government plan, the steep learning curve, and this incredible production engine. All these pieces came together at the perfect moment, when a crisis over in Europe created a golden opportunity for China's new auto industry to pounce. See, when the energy crisis hit Europe, their own car factories had to slow down because of high costs and supply chain problems. This left a huge vacuum in the market. And who jumped in? Shiny automakers, offering affordable and, more importantly, available electric cars. And just look at these numbers. Their EV market share in Europe just exploded, going from only 2% in 2022 to a projected 11% by 2025. That's insane growth.
And it's not just Europe. They've made huge moves into the super-rich Gulf market, a place that has always been about premium, established brands. Today, Chinese cars make up a shocking 20% of all car sales in Kuwait and nearly 18% in the UAE.
So how did they convince all these skeptical buyers? With a strategy that was both brilliant and super aggressive. To fight that old reputation for bad quality, they offered these unbelievable warranties. We're talking as long as 15 years on some cars. Then they paired that with really attractive financing to make the cars almost impossible to say no to. It was a direct head-on attack on their own past, and it worked.
So the next time you see a BYD or a Geely on the road, remember, it's not just another car. It's really the final product of a 20-year saga of strategic planning, painful lessons, and just relentless ambition. It's a symbol of a massive global shift, from follower to leader.
Their journey has totally upended a century-old industry, and it's proven that with the right strategy, even a punchline can become a powerhouse. Which really makes you wonder, what industry is next?